You may have been involved in the first ever coach trade of any All-Star game ever. Just want to get your thoughts on that in your mind. First for you, Leo.
They announced it?
Yeah.
That you got traded?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to go look at all that.
Traded.
I have no idea what the teams are.
Second time in history now. Geez, as a player. My son hit me up after he goes, I've created history. This is awesome. I got traded as a coach. But look, I get to coach with Sabrina. I'm on Caitlyn Clark's in Indianapolis. I mean, what a great show. So we'll go out there and
Caitlyn Clark just turned the WNBA All-Star Game into her personal highlight reel, and Sabrina Ionescu's reaction said it all. Confused, impressed, and completely shook. It wasn't just a move. It was a full-blown glitch in the basketball matrix. 1 second, she's crossing half court. The next, the crowd's losing its mind, and Sabrina's face is priceless. Did Caitlyn just invent a new play on the fly? Whatever it was, it left jaws dropped and the internet in flames. Welcome to the Caitlyn cinematic universe.
I'm going to start with you here, Caitlyn. You said you might be aggressive on the trade market once this opened up. Is there any player that you're looking to get to? And remember, it has to be apples to apples trade here. Starter for starter, reserve for reserve. The good news is you can't go wrong with this type of talent. Anyone looking to make a deal here?
To be completely honest, I love my team. I think they're great. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them. I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. He's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it.
Sabrina Ionescu didn't just watch. She's short-circuited. One moment she's locked in. The next, she's side-eyeing Caitlyn Clark like someone swapped the rule book for a Marvel script. Clark casually drained a logo 3, tossed herself a highlight, and winked like she owned the arena. Sabrina's face said it all. Confusion, disbelief, and did that really just happen? Levels of shock. It wasn't a game, it was a full-blown Caitlyn Clark simulation glitch.
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game is just days away, but we finally know who's going to be on Team Caitlyn Clark and Team Nafisa Collier. Let's get into these names. Off the top, it's Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, teammates. Then you got Sonia Citron, Kiki Iriafen, teammates. Hello, rookies. Then there's some top-tier choices in Asia Wilson and Gabby Williams, which is a sneaky good pick. One more special twist for this event. The coaches have been swapped. That's right, Cheryl Reeve is now coaching Team Collier, and Sandy Brondello is now coaching Team...
If you're enjoying, please leave a like and subscribe our channel. The WNBA All-Star Game had no idea what was coming. Sabrina Ionescu still trying to reconnect to Wi-Fi. Because Caitlyn Clark didn't just play, she directed the whole show. One outrageous move later, the game turned into a one-woman blockbuster, and everyone else looked like unpaid extras. Defenders froze, the crowd lost its mind, and Sabrina's expression? Straight-up error message. Clark didn't participate, she hijacked the moment and turned it into prime-time chaos.
Fell through at the last minute. Are you guys going to make any deals or bets on the game between teammates, or what's that going to be like to be foes for a day?
It'll be weird. Maybe we'll just allow each other to trade off baskets and shoot. But no, I mean, the All-Star Game's always fun. It's not that competitive, and it's just kind of you get to go out there, enjoy, have fun, and just kind of celebrate the accomplishments. So I'm excited for all of it.
The straight-up error message. But Sabrina? Her reaction could have won an award for Best Supporting Shock. Hands on her head, eyes wide, staring at Caitlyn Clark like she just watched someone break basketball. And maybe physics, too. You could see the gears turning. How do you defend that? Do I need NASA clearance? In that split second, everyone understood. This wasn't a rookie heating up, it was a full-blown hostile takeover. Sabrina, an all-star veteran, was suddenly just a stunned spectator in the Caitlyn cinematic universe. And that smile that faded into a smirk, then full-on disbelief? Pure meme magic. The room was on fire, and she knew it.
Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule. So, Sandy Brondello, come on over.
Whoa!
Let's get to it. You can coach Sabrina. So therefore, maybe Stewie wants to come on over to my team.
Whoa.
Let me know. Fee, you want to give me Stewie?
We have breaking news here. I don't know that I've heard of a coach being traded in the All-Star game. This is something that you're agreeing to, Fee. There's no terms to this deal.
I agree with Cheryl. I agree with the trade. I love Cheryl. She's my coach here. And you know what? That's just going to be worse for Team Clark because now we got more chemistry on our side. We got more synergy. We know what we expect from each other. So that was a...
Let's be honest. It wasn't simply about the move itself. It was the symbolism behind it. That intense sequence, that fierce stare down, that unapologetic flair. It wasn't just for the fans. It was a clear message. And if anyone had lingering doubts, they vanished the moment the coaching trade drama exploded like a bomb during media day. Yeah, that moment. Now, let's talk about Caitlyn Clark. She basically hijacked the all-star coaching setup as if she were playing NBA 2K in my GM mode. Lisa Blutter must be somewhere chuckling in disbelief. While most rookies would be quietly grateful for whatever coaching arrangement they're given, like it's jury duty, Clark, she just straight up vetoed the WNBA's original plan, as if to say, thanks, but I'll handle my own. Enter Sandy Brondello, strolling in like it's a family reunion, already with the champagne on ice. The irony? It was supposed to be Stephanie White's gig. Past tense. Now she's on the outside looking in, like she just got bumped from first class mid-flight. Poignant, really. Frankly, Stephanie White's coaching record reads like a haunted house of losses. Year after year, teams losing chemistry like a failed science experiment. It's not just that Clark didn't want her. It's that no one watching truly believed she could harness Clark's chaos, creativity, and nuclear precision style. Stephanie coaches as if she still has a flip phone and thinks spacing is a font choice. Meanwhile, Clark's game is an unstoppable vortex of innovation and raw talent. She needed a coach who understands that. Someone who wins, who isn't fazed when a rookie calls her own plays. Enter Sandy Brondello. Championship ring in hand, with real strategy and zero ego, ready to let this generational talent run the show.
All right, so after the teams were chosen, a surprise moment happened. Now, of course, I'm still feeling it because I was two off, man. Two off from picking the entire two teams, but it's all good, man. I'm not tripping. Now, at the end, a trade proposal was capable of happening, right? Now, when I was looking at the rules at the beginning, I was like, dang, they could trade? So that portion of the whole draft happened. And I'm like, dang. Who are they going to trade? I wouldn't trade anybody. And of course, Caitlyn came up saying, I'm fine. I wouldn't trade anybody. But we can trade these coaches.
Caitlyn Clark didn't just make her mark with her play on the court. She showed her power off it, too. The league had to pretend they were totally fine with it. Like, of course, the rookie gets to pick her coach. We totally planned that. But anyone paying attention knew it was a bold move, a statement of dominance. The biggest shock? Clark essentially sidelined Cheryl Reeve, dismantling her role right on national TV. That's not just shaking up the system, that's rewriting it in real time. Reeve built a coaching legacy, but Clark strolls in and declares, thanks, but I'm rolling with Sandy, flipping the script completely. And the crazy part? She was right. Since Sandy Brondello took charge, it's like Caitlyn was handed the Wi-Fi password to unlock her full potential. The chemistry between them was instant, like they'd been secretly designing plays together for months. Sandy's style emphasizes freedom, pace, and creativity, perfectly suited for Clark's game, like she's got a cheat code for manipulating time and space on the court. It's a match made in basketball heaven, or at least in Barclays Center. The results? Pure entertainment mixed with brilliance. Clark transformed the All-Star game into her personal showcase, with the crowd roaring and cameras glued to her every move. Meanwhile, Sabrina Ionescu looked like she needed tech support just to keep up. Clark just leapfrogged the entire league, smiling all the way, showing everyone she's playing a whole different game now.
At the end of the draft, Caitlyn and Fee had the option to trade any players, but instead of players, Caitlyn said that she wanted to trade coaches. Originally, Cheryl Reeve was supposed to be coaching Team Clark, and Sandy Brondello was going to be coaching Nafisa's team. But Caitlyn said, nah, let's switch. Fee, you can have your coach. But there might be something deeper. Wonder if Caitlyn has been keeping receipts of some of the things that Coach Cheryl Reeve had to say about her, including this little Twitter exchange that happened last year. They were tweeting about the preseason game and that the links weren't being televised. Somebody said, is there a reason why it's not being shown? Another user said, because they only care about Caitlyn, and Cheryl Reeve responded, that part. Since fans have been calling her out about this last year.
And let's not forget how undeniably legendary it is that Caitlyn Clark challenged the WNBA to try and stop her. She didn't just question the status quo, she bulldozed through it, rebranded the league, and somehow sold merch along the way. The league's official response was basically a shrug, like, well, I guess the kid's in charge now. But honestly, who could blame them? Caitlyn Clark might go down as one of the biggest trades in WNBA history. Except she wasn't traded at all, she was drafted. That's how wild this feels. She's so impactful, it's like someone airlifted an entire franchise just for her, then started rearranging the furniture on the fly. There's something hilariously on-tram about a rookie entering the All-Star game and immediately becoming both the highlight reel and the main storyline. No warm-up, no polite introductions, just showing up and pulling logo shots, hijacking coaching decisions, and casually shaking the foundation of the league like it's a snow globe. Meanwhile, the purists might clutch their pearls, but the fans? They're loving every second. Finally, someone's bringing the chaos, the fire, the drama, and the memes into the game. Clark isn't just playing basketball. She's transforming every possession into a TikTok video, every assist into a headline, and every smirk into a cultural moment. And credit to Sandy Brondello, she's just rolling with it. Cool as ice, calm under pressure, and completely vibing with the most polarizing rookie the league has ever seen. She doesn't try to change Clark, she amplifies her. In return, Clark delivers the most entertaining all-star performance in recent memory and pulls back the curtain on the Caitlyn Clark Show, an unstoppable force reshaping the league as she goes.
The WNBA All-Star rosters are officially set, and this live was crazier than you could have even imagined, because what do you mean halfway through they just decided to switch coaches? Not trade teams, trade coaches. So they went back and forth. Caitlyn Clark got the first pick, Collier got the second pick. She picked Aaliyah Boston, then she picked Stewie, then she picked Sabrina, then she picked Alicia Gray.
Meanwhile, Stephanie White is probably staring at a chalkboard somewhere, wondering what just happened. The answer? A phenomenon walked in and didn't wait for permission. Caitlyn Clark didn't ask for approval, she just acted, taking the league by storm. The league quickly realized, either get on board or get out of the way. That's why Sabrina Ionescu's reaction matters so much. Because it wasn't just funny, it was real. That look on her face said it all. The dawning awareness that Clark isn't here to participate, she's here to dominate, entertain, and crush every expectation along the way. Whether it's a ridiculous step-back three or casually reshuffling the coaching hierarchy, Clark's just built differently. So if anyone's still wondering who runs this league now, Sabrina already answered that. With her wide eyes, open mouth, and her all-star vote unofficially revoked. And just when you thought the circus couldn't get any weirder, in comes Stephanie White with her carefully packed baggage and emotional carry-ons. She didn't just step into the fever job, she orchestrated a reunion tour, like she's headlining the WNBA version of Coachella. The moment she arrived, it was like Avengers Sun Edition, only less Marvel and more mild. She brought her favorite Connecticut crew, including DB, and suddenly Indiana Fever looked less like a fresh start and more like a strange relocation experiment. The league's never been short on drama, and White's arrival just added another wild chapter to the ongoing saga.
The WNBA All-Star Draft was fun between Caitlyn Clark and Nafisa Collier, the team captains, picking the players, picking the rosters. But the most interesting aspect was the coach swap, because Clark traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team, or was to be the coach of her team, to Collier for Sandy Brondello, the coach of the New York Liberty. Of course, Reeve is Collier's head coach for the Minnesota Lynx, so that makes sense. But the drama is going to come from Reeve having previously been critical.
Because Stephanie didn't come to Indiana to build around Caitlyn Clark. Let's be honest. She arrived to recreate her comfort zone, wrapping herself in a sun blanket as if the Fever didn't just draft the most important player in league history. No big deal, just pushing the generational talent into a corner like some glorified scarecrow while her Sun reunion tour takes center stage. Genius, right? And all the while she's pretending this is part of some strategic vision, please. It's like being handed a brand new Ferrari and choosing to drive it at 20 MPs in a school zone. Bragging about gas mileage. Clark is being coached as if she's a 3-and-D specialist from 2004, told to sit in the corner, maybe hope for a kick-out pass, maybe not. When she does make magic, it's in spite of the system, not because of it. She's essentially freelancing between poorly designed plays, watching paint dry as cutters crawl through molasses. And for what? Because Stephanie White refuses to relinquish control. She didn't move to Indiana to let Clark run the show. She moved to rerun her own greatest hits, complete with post touches and old Sun habits that were mediocre at best.
Oh, Dairy Queen, that's Caitlyn's nickname for those of us in the know. She's like, look, I'm going to do you a solid. We all know my coach absolutely hates you. It's going to be a terrible, terrible experience for you. You have so much on your shoulders as it is, all the hate that you get, all the pressure to grow the league. And I don't want you to have to deal with all that for your All-Star weekend as well. So, of course, being her star player, I've got her wrapped around my finger. I can deal with all that. She's not going to give me any of that crap. So why don't we just straight up trade?
And somehow she's expecting Clark to adjust to her style instead of the other way around. This isn't coaching, it's sabotage with a clipboard. And if you think we're being harsh, just watch one of her press conferences. Stephanie White talks about Caitlyn Clark like she's describing an unruly house guest. There's no spark, no enthusiasm, just controlled annoyance, barely masked as coaching insight. She praises her like someone forced to write a thank you card to a person she loathes. It's painfully clear. The envy is practically leaking through the microphone. And the whole league knows it. Because Stephanie White didn't just inherit Caitlyn Clark. She inherited a spotlight she didn't want to share. And now she's got to sit through every press conference while reporters ask about Caitlyn first, last, and always. Meanwhile, her precious system, her outdated, glacial-paced system, is being exposed under the brightest lights it's ever seen. No wonder she's tense. This was supposed to be her redemption arc. Now she's just the B-plot in a much bigger movie.
I don't know if this is allowed, but this is what we're going to do. We decided, meaning the two of them decided amongst the two of them that they were also going to trade coaches. So now Sandy Brondello is the coach of Team Clark and Cheryl Reeve is the coach of Team Collier. So then Clark is like, let's make it interesting. I've got Sabrina. I think Sandy's going to want Stewie. What do you want for Stewie? We'll trade because trades are allowed. Nafisa says, what do you got to offer? She's like, I can give you Satu. And she's like, no, I don't think so. If I'm giving up my first pick, I want your first pick. I want Aaliyah Boston. Caitlyn Clark says, hell.
And here's where it gets funnier. Clark knows it. You can see it in her eyes every time she's asked about adjusting to the system. She gives that tight-lipped grin, says the politically correct thing, but you know she's screaming internally. Because this isn't what she signed up for. This isn't the offensive freedom she had in college. This isn't pace and space. This is dribble, pass, wait, reset, and maybe, get the ball back with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Fun, and poor DB is caught in the middle. Brought in like a trusted general from the old Sun regime, but now standing around watching Caitlyn Clark drag double teams 30 feet from the basket while the play is designed for a fadeaway from the elbow. But all of them know one thing. This isn't how you handle a once-in-a-generation player. You build around her, you empower her, you let her run the damn show. You don't chain her to the corner like you're afraid she'll overshadow you, because spoiler alert, she already has. White's offense has the energy of a fax machine. It's outdated, clunky, and nobody under 40 knows how to use it. But rather than adapting to the revolution, she's doubling down, like a blackjack addict on a losing streak. And it's not just ineffective, it's embarrassing. especially when the highlight reels show Caitlyn Clark launching logo threes, threading impossible passes, and making defenders look silly, all outside the game plan.
Despite dominating fan votes and receiving a record-setting number of fan votes, Caitlyn Clark was only voted 9th in guards across the league by WNBA players for the WNBA All-Star Game. Now, she is going to be a captain in this year's All-Star Game, which is amazing as just a second-year player, but let that sink in for a second. She was voted first in fan votes, the most fan votes of all time for a player, and only voted as the 9th best guard in the league amongst players. That's insane.
You'd expect a savvy coach to adapt, to pivot when things aren't working. But Stephanie White remains stubborn, clutching her clipboard like a security blanket, desperately hoping no one notices that Caitlyn Clark's immense potential is being sidelined for the sake of sticking to her old blueprint. And when she's finally called out, she responds with canned phrases like process and chemistry, sounding more like she's giving an HR seminar on mediocrity than coaching a game. Fans are starting to lose patience, and rightfully so. White genuinely believes this approach is developing something, that things are coming together. Meanwhile, Caitlyn is doing mental gymnastics just to get a decent shot. When she finally makes magic happen, it's in spite of the system, not because of it. That's the harsh truth. Now there's an undeniable tension. A coach clinging to the past, and a player already operating 10 years ahead of her time. The system is designed to slow her down, to box her in. But Caitlyn runs at warp speed. The mismatch is glaring enough to be seen from space. Yet White continues to pretend everything's fine, even as the season drags on. The whispers grow louder. Perhaps the real problem isn't Caitlyn adjusting, but Stephanie White never intending to change at all. If you enjoyed leaving a like and subscribing, more videos are on the screen now.